Hi guys, it's Holly here at Faces, and today I'm here with the lovely Abby Nichols, who is the CEO and founder of Pretty Fit Aesthetics. Abby, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today.
Hi, Holly. Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me on here. It's an
You're,
honor.
you're more than welcome. So let's just kick things off by talking a bit about you and your business then. So how did you get into the aesthetics industry, and how did you get your business to where it is today?
Okay, so before aesthetics, I was a personal trainer. Well, I still am.
Oh, that would make sense. Pretty fit, like that.
Where the name comes from, yeah, yeah. So I've always been into beauty and women things.
Yeah.
And then COVID kind of lockdown came, COVID hit, and I just felt like I wanted to do something. Like I wanted to develop myself some other way. So I started doing some research online, and I was always led to believe that aesthetics was, you had to go down a medic route, and that was nothing that I wanted to do. And then I kind of realized that I could actually do it through a beautician pathway. So then I found an academy in London and started doing like all of my theory work online throughout the lockdown.
Mhm.
And as soon as we came out of lockdown, did all my practical stuff. And then I kind of jumped headfirst into it, went straight in. I didn't wait. As soon as we were allowed to, I set up a clinic in my friend's tattoo salon, parlor, whatever you want to call it. I was visiting friends like the homes, and then also because I was managing a gym at the same time, I had we have concession rooms that we can rent out. So I was using the room to treat people in there, which worked great because it kind of goes hand in hand, self-love, self-care. Like everybody wants to take good care of themselves and look great, so it kind of works. I now rent a room in a beauty salon, and I'm about to go. Well, I am going through negotiations to secure my own premises.
Oh,
So fingers crossed.
amazing. That's so exciting. That's so exciting. So
Yeah,
I think that's really interesting because obviously you were able to tap into like the gym members having been based in the gym. And I think we're
yeah,
seeing more of aesthetic clinics being like based inside gyms these days. And I think it totally makes sense, not
yeah. It
everybody
works.
not everybody weightlifts or does fitness for the aesthetic side of things. Personally, I do it a lot for my mental health, but they really do go hand in hand. And then obviously
All linked.
working within the tattoo parlor as well. Obviously, you've got their clients as well. So you've literally kind of, even though you're starting a new business, you've already got those client bases, which I think is really good. And then
Yeah.
are you currently working within those spaces as well as the room you're renting, or what's your situation at the
No,
moment?
so I'm just in my room now. All my clientele come here. I don't personal train at the moment because I simply don't have time. So my plan is that when I do get my own premises, the place that I found has like an outside kind of courtyard as well, which is big enough for me to set up like a little one-to-one personal training space. So I want to create like it's almost like a well-being center, like a one-stop kind
Oh,
of take care of yourself and look after your health, because health is the most important thing to me.
yeah.
Um, so that, yeah, I'll always try and shout about, even the skincare and things like that, because it's all underlying that later on create bigger issues. So that's the focus for me.
Yeah, amazing. And make a little retreat. I love that. I love that idea. With regards to the treatments that you offer, then I know a lot of people who are based within gyms, they do like IV therapy, vitamin injections. That's kind of quite a big focus. What would you say are your sort of most popular treatments that you offer?
Yeah, I do offer those treatments, but they're not overly popular, I would say, because they're still quite that part of the industry is still quite untapped. I think people still don't know the benefits of it. I try to educate my clients, anyone asks about it, the benefits, because it is so beneficial. But my most popular treatments are still kind of lips and Botox. They're still kind of the basic things that people go for, because I guess that's the most common, that's the most spoken about and heard of, and that's kind of the intro. That's how they start.
Yeah, absolutely. Like those are the things that you train in when you first train, aren't they? So, it's great that you've been able to kind of develop those as sort of core treatments. With regards to opening a new clinic, obviously that is so exciting. Do you have plans for like any new treatments to come on board? Is there anything that you're currently training in or looking to train in?
I've considered a couple of things, but with the regulations pending. I'm just not sure. Like COGS was one thing that I was interested in training in, and it's something that's requested quite a lot. And I've heard lots of good and bad things about it. So I kind of wanted to delve into that myself. But now it seems that that's going to be on the red list. So for non-health, no, there's going to be a no-go. So I'm just going to wait and see what happens with that one.
Yeah, definitely. There's no point investing thousands of pounds in training if it turns out that you're not able to easily do the treatment or at all. Just sort of moving on to regulation then, because I know that's something that we wanted to discuss with the traffic light system. Obviously nothing is set in stone right now, but you know, the government are open to hearing everybody's thoughts, which I think is a really good thing. What are your sort of personal views on regulation and what potentially could be coming into play?
Look, it's definitely needed, 100%, no doubt about it. There's on a daily basis, when I have new clients coming and I'm hearing some stories that they're telling me, and it's actually shocking at what's going on, and people are just, there's nobody holding them accountable. It's going to be so beneficial to everyone. The fact that non-healthcare professionals and healthcare professionals are still so divided, it's a little bit annoying. I understand why it's happening, but I think everybody has to train in the same way. I mean, doctors and nurses and dentists, they go to medical school. They learn medicine. This is not what they learn in medical school. Yeah. They have to go through the same training that we do. Obviously, there's other underpinning knowledge that they benefit from. But if the regulated qualifications come in, then obviously it's going to be the same across the board, and that divide can stop. But, people are learning at the minute. They're going into aesthetics through CPD courses. CPD means continued professional development. What are you continuing from? You haven't even started yet. So the whole thing just doesn't work at the minute.
Yeah, exactly. I think, we're just going to have to see what happens. But I think instead of looking at it from a medic and non-medic point of view, personally, I think looking at it as a good and bad practice point of view is a lot more beneficial. Having set standards, whether you are a medical professional or a non-medical professional, a set standard within the industry, first of all, like you say, is needed. However, I don't think it needs to be as divided as that, like you've mentioned as well. But we'll just have to see what happens, and maybe we can pick up on another conversation once the regulations are in place, if they eventually do happen, because obviously it's something that's been talked about for a really long time.
I know a lot of people are kind of on hold at the minute with their education. They're not sure which path to take, in terms of, because obviously there are regulated qualifications that have been released. You've got level 5 and level 7, which I am doing at the moment. I'm not waiting.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I know there's a lot of people that are kind of, on the fence with that.
Yeah, I think, obviously I can understand why people wouldn't want to do those qualifications right now, because they might not even be mandatory. The government might bring out a completely different qualification to those, but those are such fantastic qualifications to have under your belt, aren't they? You can never learn enough. Yeah. It's just always continuing your professional development, isn't it? Even though it's not CPD, you can never learn enough. And I think, you can always learn more techniques. You can always learn more about safety. You can always learn more about the anatomy. And I think every practitioner needs to have that view in terms of really investing in their learning, not only to perfect their treatments, but also to put their client safety first. With regards to the Faces app then, so obviously you've used Faces for quite some time now. I know that you use it to run your business. How has Faces really helped with the runnings of your business and benefited you?
So I have used Faces from day dot, because it was recommended to me from the academy that I trained, and I actually don't know what I'd do without it. I do everything with Faces. I don't know what other app I'd use, for consent forms, aftercare forms, taking deposits, bookings, ordering products, find your prescribers. You literally can do everything on Faces, and it's free. I don't know what everyone needs to use Faces.
I think that's the thing. A lot of people download the app and register, and they think there's some kind of catch, because it's how are we getting all of this stuff for free? But I think as well, from a safeguarding point of view, it's really important to mention, I think particularly now, clients are becoming a lot more aware of what good and bad practice is. And clients are also aware as to what faces is. So I think it's really reassuring for the client if their practitioner, like yourself, is using faces, because it shows you are getting the consent correctly, you're getting the before and after pictures, you're recording the batch numbers, you're sending out the aftercare, you have to have insurance to actually purchase from faces, so that shows you've got insurance. You're connecting with one of our registered prescribers, ordering your products from licensed pharmacies, and I think all of those things can be proven just by saying that you use faces and run your business through faces. So I think it's something that is really the bare minimum when it comes to the industry and how things should be run from a business point of view. What would you say is your favourite feature that we currently have? Obviously, we're constantly evolving and adding new things.
It would probably just have to be consent forms and aftercare, because I literally use it every day. And also you can edit, by the way, because I've heard people say, oh, the consent forms aren't very good. Obviously there's generic consent forms, there's generic aftercare on there, but you can literally go in and edit it. You can add questions, you can take questions away, you can edit the aftercare, you can even add your own logo on the aftercare form, which I've done, so it looks really professional. So that's probably only because I use that the most, but everything is great. Like, I love everything.
Good. That's like what we like to hear. And when it comes to the consent forms, I think, like you say, you can edit them, you can customize them, make them to how you want them to be, add different things to them, make them more bespoke to your business. But we are obviously connected with InSync, so all of our consent forms are fully insurable, which is the main thing. And, particularly as a new practitioner, if you're ever not sure like what you should be asking your client, you can guarantee that the questions that are on our consent forms are what you need to be asking, and everything is on there. And you can even use them for your PTing as well when you open your clinic, because you could even create your own.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. No,
yeah, you can do that.
For the PT, but yeah, that's actually a good shout.
Yeah, I do know people actually who do like fitness classes and stuff, and they just created their own consent form on faces and they just use it because they're so versatile, and you can edit them to how you want them to be and create your own. So even when you're doing your wellness clinic, you can still have everything on faces. You're not going to have to use a different app. So that is another benefit, obviously, very multifunctional. With regards to your business then, so obviously you've gone from being straight into fitness to now being into aesthetics and hoping to go back into the fitness side of things, and you've done a lot throughout your career. What would you say is your most proud moment, or what's the thing that you're most proud of when it comes to running your business? Like, is there something that sticks out to you?
I don't think there's particularly one thing that sticks out for me. It's like the progression as a whole. When I look back to see all the things I've done, and I kind of realize that everything I say I'm going to do, I do. And you don't realize until you stop and you look and you think about it, you're like, wow, actually, I've come so far. Like, I've done so much, and I should actually be proud of myself. So sometimes I have to take a minute to actually realize, because I think, oh, I still want to do this and I want to do that and I haven't done this. And I think sometimes we're just really hard on ourselves. But yeah, I'm proud of myself in general. I try to make sure that I do think about it.
Yeah, good. It's so important to take stock of it. Like you say, you potentially took a huge risk, after COVID, going into aesthetics, going into something totally new. And I think, you've done amazingly well. And I think it's great to speak to people like yourself, because I think a lot of practitioners who have maybe like recently qualified and who are struggling to build their client base and start their business feel often discouraged because it is really hard. But I think I love speaking to people like yourself, because you've got your business into a fantastic place and you're about to open your own clinic, and it just shows that with hard work, dedication and consistency, it really does pay off, just like fitness. Yeah, that's it.
Hard work, dedication, that's it. It's key. But yeah, sometimes you just have to be brave and you just have to go for it, because you can literally sit and think yourself out of it. You can talk yourself out of so many things, but if you don't try, you'll never know. So you just have to throw yourself in head first, and what's the worst that can happen?
Exactly. Well, I'm so excited to hopefully see pictures of your clinic, videos of your clinic when it opens, and we should definitely catch up. I'll come to a session with you as well and get some Botox whilst I'm there. Oh my God, yeah. Thank you so much for coming on, Abby. It's been lovely speaking.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Holly.
No worries, lovely. All right, have a great weekend and we'll speak soon.
You too, babe. Bye.
Bye.